started many, many years ago when the industry was very different, actually. I did my first gig in high school. How old are you?
Turning 16 in a couple
16.
of weeks.
Okay, so I had my first band when I was about 14. And we did a few gigs around the place. We won like a Christmas band competition in the city. And then I really caught the songwriting bug.
Yeah.
And I went on to study music at university, and I started a folk jazz pop duo called Bittersweet. And it was really then, when I was at the Conservatorium of Music, that I started to take performing pretty seriously. And really, I went out to see a lot of shows, and I made friends with fellow performers, and through those friendships we started performing together, so people would ask me to be the support act for their shows. And it was a very slow, very gradual process, just of getting out there and meeting like-minded people, talking to people in the industry, going to events like Big Sound, Valley Fiesta, performed a few Valley Fiestas back in the day, and really, yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there. There was no magic ingredient. It was just lots of hard work. We also tried, we would send our music to radio stations like 4ZZZ, who are just incredibly supportive of local artists. And we got some airplay, and they continue to be great supporters of my music. A little bit of Triple J radio play back in the day, and every little bit helped. Yeah, so that's really how it all started all those years ago. I just have been really lucky to work with some really beautiful people. One of the people that I have loved working with is an artist by the name of Jinx Monsoon, who won season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race. And I opened for Jinx's show. Jinx and her musical partner, Richard, wrote a show called The Vaudevillians, and performed it about 70 odd times on off-Broadway, and I was the opening act, and then went on to record and on Jinx and Richard's album. Jinx, was internationally famous, was kind of the hot ticket at the time, and still is incredibly well known and well respected, but was one of the most humble and giving and generous artists, and has always really stayed in my memory as being such a positive influence. So I'd have to say Jinx Monsoon is definitely one person that I think of out of many brilliant artists. I think that there are many Brisbane sounds, actually. I think it depends on the time. I think probably Brisbane has had many different music sounds over the years. And I have to say, I've lived in New York and I've lived in Sydney, and I've lived in Brisbane. And Brisbane is a very special place. And I think part of the reason why it's so special is because we don't have huge amounts of industry looking on at all times, which means that artists feel this freedom to experiment. And I feel like a lot of really cutting edge, interesting art, not just music, comes out of Brisbane. And I think it might be because of that very reason, that we have the time and the space to really play and to really experiment and to fine tune. And so there's a lot of different stuff, different art, unique products coming out of this city. I wrote that song actually in a lesson. So I was teaching a young student at the time called Indigo Kane, and we were writing a song together, and we were doing a stream of consciousness exercise. So she was writing one line just off the top of her head, and I was kind of responding and writing the next line, and we were just jamming, and Beautiful Lies was born. And we realised it was a song about a wedding on the eve of the apocalypse.
Wow.
So that's how that song was born, and it went on to be part of an EP series called the White, Red and Black series, and it was on the White EP, and I recorded it in Chicago with a record label called Candy Rat Records, and it was released, and there was a little live video of it on YouTube on the Candy Rat channel. So yeah, but I haven't played it in a long time. Maybe I'll have to relearn it.